everyone, thank you for joining me here. My name is Helen. Welcome to the Shrimpy McGee channel. Please do give this video a like if you find that it is helpful for you. I would really appreciate that, and it would let me know that you like this content, and then I will make more of it. What I wanted to quickly talk about today, and I will try and keep this brief, is whether or not you should start using Rogaine. I get this question a lot. People drop into my Instagram DMs and they message me here below my videos in the comments, and I try my best to get back to everybody. I just hit 500 subscribers, which is an amazing, huge milestone. But that means like eventually I'm not gonna be able to get to everybody's questions because I'm starting to get a lot of them. I definitely get questions every single day from people, and so I try and get to them. This is actually just like a part-time thing for me. I do have a day job. I am a freelance writer and editor, journalist type person, and I make YouTube videos on the side. I also have a podcast if you want to check that out. I do a podcast with my husband, Niall. We talk about all the new stuff that's on Netflix and what we love and what we don't love. So check that all out. That's below in the description box. I always post links to all that good stuff, so have a look there. But what I wanted to talk today about is something that keeps coming up, which is whether or not you should use Rogaine. I never get asked this question directly. Nobody will ask this to me directly, but I get it in lots of sort of roundabout ways, and so I'm just gonna try and give you an answer here as to whether or not you should use it. We all know, of course, that I am not a doctor, and this is not a substitute for medical advice. There is an actual doctor, Dr. Dre, who is a YouTuber and a dermatologist. You can go ahead and dig up her videos as well. She's done one on minoxidil. She can speak at a very high medical level as a dermatologist about what it is, you know, what to expect, that sort of thing. Although she doesn't strictly talk about minoxidil. Like, I am a sort of Rogaine focused YouTuber, minoxidil focused. This is not an ad and this is not sponsored, but most of my videos very much focus on Rogaine and minoxidil for hair loss, but I also do celebrity content and gossip as well. So consider subscribing, maybe. I am always trying to grow my channel, and I'm so happy to have you here with me, and I appreciate all of you so very much. But yeah, so I'm not a doctor, established that, obviously, but I just want to tell you, I know how you feel. You might not want to go to the doctor just to ask about minoxidil, aka Rogaine. Maybe you just want to start trying it, and so what are my thoughts about that? This is not medical advice, but I'm going to give you some advice just based on my own experience, and that is this. So Rogaine / minoxidil is an over-the-counter product. That means here in North America, in Canada, and in the United States, you do not need a doctor's prescription to buy or to use Rogaine. So I will let you interpret that the way you want to. For me, you know, that's great because that means I just buy it. I don't need a doctor's prescription. So whether you want to do that or not, it's up to you. But I will tell you, if you have some questions and you're not too sure, there is a medical professional who's located in the same place where you're buying the Rogaine, usually, and that is the pharmacist. So pharmacists are great, and I really feel like, obviously, they're so important. They dole out our medicines, but they can tell you stuff about over-the-counter medications as well, and I think sometimes we overlook them as a valued member of the medical profession. Like, they're very highly trained. They know what they're talking about. They all have access to information that they might not have. Like, I have had a pharmacist look up, not about Rogaine, but about another medicine. You know, they'll look up interactions and stuff like that. Bonus marks if you're getting other prescriptions that are already there and you're picking up your Rogaine from the same place. I realize that's not always the cheapest way to do it, but maybe the first time, like as you start to use it, this is the place to buy it from. You know, that way the pharmacist can look on the file and see what other prescriptions you have and talk to you about interactions and stuff like that. But they can tell you about Rogaine. So just mosey on up to the pharmacist and ask them for a consult, and they will talk to you about whether or not Rogaine might be suitable. You know, they can sort of walk you through some of the possible side effects, or whether it's going to interact with any of the things that the other pills and drugs that you're on. They can let you know about any possible things to look out for, any reasons not to use it. But yeah, it's an over-the-counter drug, right? Minoxidil is the active ingredient. That's the active drug. Rogaine is the brand name. So if you're looking for a generic, it will just be called minoxidil. And yeah, it's called Rogaine. It's called Regaine in the United Kingdom and some other places as far as I know. But these are all places that have pharmacists. So definitely if you're at all worried and you just want to know about how it might interact with maybe some other things that you're taking, or you have just some general concerns, you can ask them about it. And if you also just want to dig deeper before you spend any money investing, or you don't want to necessarily have to go in yet to look at the box, have a look at Rogaine's website. They have one for Canada anyway, and I'm sure they have one for the United States and whatever country you're probably in. Probably if you just type in Rogaine into Google, it'll bring up the correct one for you. Do a bit of a deep dive into the FAQs. They have an FAQ section, at least here in Canada, and it's pretty good. It'll give you some sort of things to think about, things to read, questions to ask. Let's say you do start using it and you haven't spoken to your doctor yet. You know, obviously I would suggest obviously see your doctor before you start using it. But on the other hand, like I said, it is an over-the-counter product. If you start using it, then just make sure you jot down all your side effects and stuff like that. You know, maybe take a before picture before you even start using it. You know, try and quantify things. When I say quantify, write things down, keep a record, have photos, that sort of stuff. I don't know how your healthcare system works where you are. Where I am, if you want to see a dermatologist, we're pretty lucky here in Toronto. You know, it's not that hard to get a dermatologist appointment, and usually you can see one relatively quickly, although it still can be, like for popular dermatologists, it can be a long wait or it can be just a couple weeks. It kind of depends. You know, I've had long, like month-long, 2-month-long waits to see a dermatologist. I've had a 3-week wait to see, but I have to wait here. If you can see one next week, great. But if you are going to go that route and you just decide to use Rogaine, in my case, I'll just say what I'm gonna do so that I'm not giving you any actual advice, so you can just interpret it how you want. What I would do is I would start using the Rogaine, just write down the date that I started. I would take a picture. I would write down all the things that I'm worried about, and then keep going with it until I had, because let's say my appointment wasn't for another 2.5 months, I wouldn't, and I'm losing hair every day. I'd be feeling really stressed about that and I'd want to try something. I would start using the Rogaine. I think in my case, and from what I've read, the chances are minimal that the dermatologist is gonna say, no, you should never have used this. Just speaking for me, I can't speak for you. But then at least I'll be able to describe, like if I didn't like the Rogaine, I could describe this, why I didn't, like say it was making my head itchy, or like I was getting a lot more hair falling out than I thought I would, because that is a side effect about Rogaine that you might have heard about. Again, have a look at the FAQs. I've made a video about this as well, about hair falling out when you first start Rogaine, so I will link up to that as well. But yeah, if it were me and I were going to see the dermatologist and my appointment was not for 2 months, I would definitely start using it now, and then just make sure to really record what I've been doing, what I've not been doing, if it worked, if it didn't. That way, by the time I got to the dermatologist, I can be like, yeah, I already gave it a try, it sucked, or yeah, I gave it a try and it's starting to work for me, maybe, can you check? That's what I would do if it were me. So again, not meant to be a substitute at all for medical advice. But like I said, there's a professional, medical professional you can ask, located at every pharmacy, and that is called the pharmacist. They're there as a resource, so definitely ask them if you have any questions about interactions and stuff like that. And so yeah, again, I can't exactly tell you whether you should start or not. I started, I never look back, I love it. It's been just, oh, it's been great. I just loved having my hair filled in. I was so stressed when I had this terrible big bald spot. So glad that that's filled in. And if you want to see that big old bald spot and all the other stuff that I've been dealing with over the last year, my whole journey is on YouTube. So I've got this big playlist now because I'm making lots of videos about it. And so I hope that you find them helpful. I'll be sure to link that up, and give your girl here a subscribe if you like this and like the video. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Bye.